this video we are going to run through a few tips and tricks that can be used in the PointHarbor environment to increase productivity, possibly. So the first tip is, of course, utilize RockMongo for that scaffolding type of functionality that will allow you full access to your data sets as well as some administration functionality. So RockMongo is a free product on OpenShift. It's basically a single button install after you've installed MongoDB. So the second tip is utilizing the read service with the multiple parameter for the S parameter, or the multiple option for the S parameter, to go ahead and get full data sets. So if you'd like to query code types, for example, this is all the dynamic PHP that is utilized within this specific implementation of PointHarbor. If you'd like to see the JavaScript code, you can go ahead and type in JavaScript and see all of the JavaScript code being utilized within this implementation, as well as HTML and whichever CSS, things like that. So you can say CSS, HTML, so on and so forth. So if you don't have access to RockMongo in your exploring environment and would like to see data that hasn't been locked down, then you can go ahead and do that. One of the tables that is locked down in this implementation is the user. So if you go ahead and attempt to query a user, it will basically just hard error. So I'll show you that. So if the rules weren't taking effect, then you could see the user information for this user. What is actually happening is that there's a rules engine that utilizes basically a rules table. So we'll jump right into the table. If you look in the rule table, you'll see that for the user collection, both the challenge field and user field are required in order to retrieve any information from that data set. So if it's locked down through the rule engine, then you may not be able to get to it. So another tip is utilizing multiple versions of the UI on the client side while making modifications. If you're properly utilizing versioning, then this isn't really a tip or trick for you, but if you're utilizing the same version of code parts, what you can do is refresh the window in order to pull the new scripts in one of your tabs. So say if we were troubleshooting on this tab, we could go ahead and refresh, do our testing, and then if we actually broke something in the UI, we could switch over to our old, or the tab with the original JavaScript, CSS, and all that other client-side code, or the functionality enablers through markup, and work within that environment to correct our mistake. And then once that's corrected, we could go ahead and debug it on another tab. So for instance, if you're making some modification changes to the editor on the client side and you broke the save button, you could jump back to an old tab with the old scripts, still utilize the save button, and then utilize that other tab to make changes. So those are just a few tips and tricks in the early version